One-on-one bitches, they 10. One-on-one, never again. One-on-one. Won't get the cake in the butter. I count it like hustle the money all in. Rhyme in the town in the drop top coupe in the motor in the trunk, you can hear it. Hearing all about how they want me to lose, but I'm W.
We back. Y'all been waiting. Y'all been requesting.
Very funny.
We still drunk. What the fuck we was talking about? Well, I was like, we need to record this shit though. Cause you be talking mad shit. Oh, we was talking about women. He love to talk about us. I think he want to be one of us. He love to talk about us.
I just be trying to speak.
But before we start, right? Cause you love to talk. It's your girl Juicy.
Fuck is Juicy, bro.
I'm Juicy. Everything about me juicy, baby. You know that. Who you? Who you is?
It's the real cash nigga, you know what I'm saying?
No, that's cut.
It's the real cash nigga, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to my dime niggas, you know what I'm saying?
See, this is where this
shout
is
out,
now.
Shout out to my 60s, you know what I'm saying?
What? What is that?
I'm shouting my niggas.
Who the fuck is 60s?
I'm shouting my niggas.
They
know who they are.
What is that?
They know who they are.
Oh, okay, great. So we were talking about women, right? Which is his topic of discussion. He always wants to talk about us. And he was like, what was it? Like why women are so angry or something to that effect.
So what I said was I was watching this lady and she has a it's a Showtime series and it's a couples therapy series, and the gentleman, with multiple gentlemen, but one gentleman that I was watching, he was basically saying how like his wife, black man with a black woman, he was like his wife is aggressive, you know what I mean? She can be very argumentative and very confrontational. So what I asked was, I hear a lot of black men say this about black women, but whenever black women have a rebuttal to this critique of them, it's always like it's like it doesn't make sense to them. So my question was,
hold on,
why do you think?
I hate to interrupt you, but how are we gonna have this conversation? Your kids are so loud in the background.
Listen,
this is raw.
We in the house.
This is raw. Listen, we gotta tell them to be quiet.
My question is, why is this critique of black women and y'all act like this is like it's not real? When you hear black women say, "Oh, it's just you can't handle it," it's like, nah, it's not about that. Why do us as black men think that y'all are so argumentative, that y'all are aggressive, that y'all are problematic?
I think there's a spotlight that is constantly shined on us as black women, right? And right, there's the stigma for black women for constantly being overbearing, being ghetto, being loud. And there's the stigma for you black men as being cheaters and not taking care of your children and having multiple children and having multiple baby mothers, right? And not marrying your significant others. So my thing is, why can't we just understand each other? Like that's what it all boils down. Let's learn to understand each other so we can erase what has been put on us.
I don't think it's in order to understand each other though, like everybody has to give each other grace, right? But you have to have some accountability, right? This is another thing, right? If I'm a black man and I've never really dealt with any other women besides a black or Spanish women. To me, and people could tell me if I'm wrong or whatever, they have their opinion. But to me, I grew up in Mitchell Projects, right? So it's black and it's Hispanic people. It's black and Spanish people. We all the same. We one and the same. We all do the same shit. We in the same neighborhood. We in the same areas. We've got the same obstacles. It's all the same shit. So for me, it's like I don't really understand. Like I don't understand why we have these issues of accountability. And I think that's the biggest problem is accountability.
Well, see, in order to have accountability, you have to suppress the ego. You have to I don't like to say suppress, because when you suppress shit, it's kind of like you try to erase it without acknowledging it. That's what I think suppression is. I could be wrong, but I feel like there's this big ego. Like there's always some type of ego in the room. Like we grew up in Harlem in the Bronx, And in Harlem and the Bronx, it's more so like it's all about your status. Like you're like you got who's tougher, who's more aggressive, like, and that shit becomes embedded in us because it's also a survival tactic, right? Like when you come from New York, you know, like it's like a survivor. It's like you either it's kind of like what 50 Cent said, like you get rich or die trying. It's like that premise of like, yo, you either make it or you die trying to make it, right? And you try to like make it in the sense of like being able to be like macho chacho. You hate when I say that.
I hate that shit. What the fuck is macho chacho, bro? I don't even understand what that
But
means.
everybody, like, it's a woman's mentality. Like, women are aggressive because the niggas that we see in Harlem at the time, they aggressive. Like, I've never been approached by a man when I was younger, and they was like, "Hey, sweetheart, how you doing? Like, you look beautiful." It's always like, "Yo, ma,
Time out.
yo, ma."
Time out.
You didn't approach me
No,
like
no,
that.
no, no,
Stop
no,
it,
no,
stop
no,
it,
no,
stop
time
it,
out,
because
time
I know
out.
that's where he's going with it.
Time out.
Go ahead.
First of all,
Hmm.
we gonna rewind.
Here you go.
Shout out to Weez. Me and Weez, we in Club Exit. I got the big boy on. You know what I'm saying?
Snooze fest.
That's the Murmont, the Biggie. If niggas don't know what that is, I got the Biggie on. Weez next to me. He on the left of me. I remember like yesterday. He got the Biggie on. Hands is in the pockets. We in the stands. You know what I'm saying? Her young ladies. They walk by. She look at me. She like, damn, he could get it.
I never said that.
I'm like,
he loves.
I know. You know what I'm saying? I'm here. I hit her. I look at her. I see her mouth that he could get it. I'm like, I already know I could get it.
He been
so come on and get it.
Story for years.
Come on and get it, right? But I say that to say I wasn't aggressive when you met me. Like I wasn't, but I'm saying I wasn't aggressive when you met me and you came back to because you sent your friend. When your friend came, oh my friend want to tell you, I'm like, yo, tell her come here. And when you came over there, I was talking, you know me. I mean, I'm just me. I'm debonair. Yeah, I mean, I'm the real cash nigga. So I've always been debonair. I got a little wild side, but I'm debonair. So I'm like, yo, what's up? What's your name? But when you say, oh, my name is Jazz.
This nigga acts like the problem with Darrell is. Let me just say this: Darrell acts like he's in a fucking R&B music video.
But nah,
like
really...
he embodies Chris Brown. So he thinks he's Chris Brown. Like
I was Chris. Yo, listen, hear me out.
I know you know my name, but excuse me, miss.
We was them niggas before Chris Brown was around.
Don't
you know
do that.
He
Don't
elevated.
No, that's my brother.
No.
That's my brother.
What Chris did was
like that.
what Chris Brown did was he elevated me and my friends because when we had the ladies over, when we had the ladies over and we throw the Chris Brown on,
why are you saying that so proudly? Why would you have girls over? You had a girlfriend.
Bro, that's not the point.
I'm just saying.
And you had a point. Hold on. You had a point, but I mentioned you had a. When you walk, when you walk by me and say,
no. Here's the thing.
I'm gonna let you finish because I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna let you finish.
I had a situationship before I knew it was. Anyways, like I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, you talking about I was in a situationship. Yes, I was. I was in a situation. No, let me done. And you had a whole girlfriend. Like I was coming to events.
I'm gonna let you talk.
This is how you know niggas ain't shit, y'all.
I'm gonna let you talk.
These niggas is trifling, especially if they from Harlem or the Bronx. They ain't shit.
So you had a boyfriend.
I did.
You 100% had a boyfriend.
I'm like Fab. I had a situation.
And I had a girlfriend, but we was young. We was 15, 16 or whatever, and that's life. But I say that to say, when you approached me, I wasn't on no rah-rah shit. You know what I'm saying? I've been a smooth nigga since birth. So I was on some smooth shit. You know what I'm saying? From the tip of the iceberg, I was on some smooth shit. But at the end of the day, what I'm saying is, in order for us as men and women to have a better understanding, we got to have some grace, but we also got to have accountability, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can say, like, you can't knock somebody's experiences, or you can't hold people's experiences against them. If I'm a man and I've been dating black women my whole life, right? Let's say I'm 37 years old, right? I've only dated really black and Spanish women. But if most of the black and Spanish women that I've dated have attitude problems, they're aggressive, that's how I'm gonna view that demographic.
And let me ask a question. With you dating a Spanish or black woman who is aggressive, who has attitude problems, how is your mother? Is your mother aggressive with attitude problem?
My mom's mad aggressive.
Okay, so I only ask that question because then, right? Like in a sense, you could kind of know how to deal with a woman who's aggressive, right? Because you had to maneuver your mother, right?
Yeah, but that's not the same thing.
I only ask because then a lot of black men and a lot of Spanish men, right, more so black, right, they tend to gravitate towards Caucasian women. And I never can understand the correlation because my thing is like, how can this Spanish woman, how can this white woman understand your trials and tribulations?
I think that that's something that and I that's a valid point. And what I be trying to tell, and I've only in my lifetime, I think I've dealt with maybe like two white women because I went, you know what I
It's
mean? But
nobody's.
they weren't white women, they were white girls because I was like a teenager, like, you know what I mean? But I don't really think that that's like in y'all mind, like that's a valid point, like, oh, how does she understand you? But I don't think men are really worried about whether a woman because I don't think black men are really worried about whether a woman understands them or not, like a white woman understands them or not. It's more about I understand what I go through. I understand what I gotta go through in the world when I step outside of my house. So when I come home, I don't wanna leave my house and have to navigate through the world. I gotta navigate through my job. I gotta navigate the police. I don't want to come in my home and then have to be on guard with my own woman. And I think that, and I don't know. This is just things that I've 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 heard and I've you know what I mean paid attention to when people speak. Black men who date white women, this is what they say. Like it is a different tone when they come home. It's a different tone when they're dealing with the white woman.
I
I'm
think
just
it.
being
I
honest. I'm
think
just
it
being honest with
depends
you.
on the white woman because we know
Yeah, there's some ghetto white women. There's some ghetto white women.
we have a few friends
There's
who
some
have.
Karen. There's some Karen Shaniquas. There's some Karen Shaniquas. There's definitely some Karen Shaniquas.
Karen
You know
Shaniquas
what I'm
is
saying? There's definitely some
crazy.
Karen Shaniquas. I'm sure there are. You know what I'm saying? Because when I grew up, there wasn't in
Yo,
my projects shit. White
there
people.
was no
I
white
think
people in
only
Mitchell.
Paulie. Shout out to Paulie. He passed away. Paulie was the only white person in my
Who's
neighborhood.
Paulie?
Paulie was a hey, I hate this. He was a guy who he was on drugs and shit, but he like, bro, he fix shit. He get you whatever you need, like sell shit. Like Paulie was a hustler, but he was, you know what I mean? He was on drugs, but Paulie was probably the only white person. I mean, that's I'm lying. I had a friend when I was growing up named Eric, and then his family was white. He's white. His family is white. I actually still like communicate with some of them to this day. Eric and he got brothers, and one of his brothers actually was. We all went to school together. So, but it wasn't a lot. I say that to say it wasn't a lot of white people in my neighborhood. I mean, I grew up in Mitchell Project, so it wasn't a lot of white people in my neighborhood.
You
But
wanna know what's funny? Like you always, you're very open, and I wonder if it's because like you have like friends that like that Mitchell is your home. Like Mitchell
mhm.
Project is your home. Like that's where all your friends are. No, I didn't say that for you to do that.
Shout
No,
out to the '60s. You know
never
what I mean?
mind.
I'm listening.
I only say that to say like Mitchell is your home. Like Mitchell is like Mitchell is actually what raised you.
Yeah,
Like
my friends.
Mitchell,
Me and my friends talk all the time. We
like y'all
raised each
raised
other.
each other,
We raised each
right?
other.
And I say that to say like you didn't realize. I mean, I knew it, like how much Mitchell has an impact on you, but I didn't really know it because when I came into the picture with you, my thing was always trying to pull you away from Mitchell, right? Because
Mhm.
I felt like Mitchell was not conducive for you. But as we are older, you know, you're a grown adult. I realize how impactful Mitchell Project is and has been for you in a sense of like helping you navigate through life, right? Because you learn certain things when you're with your friends that you're not gonna learn in a book. You ain't gonna learn in school. You ain't gonna learn with your parents, depending on your parents, right? So you kind of like you always used to say, like your friends actually raised you.
We
You
raised
raised
each.
you. Y'all raised
We
each
raised
other.
each other. Like
So
you had certain friends who were smart in certain areas and they gave you game, and you got certain friends that's smart in certain areas and you gave you game. When I think about my upbringing in Mitchell's, when I look back on it now as a grown man who has I don't go like I don't be in Mitchell's no more. Like I mean we go to the city because you know everybody know we move. If we go to the city, I politic with my dogs and all that. But that's not some place that I'm there all the time. So me being removed from that, I see the negative. Like, damn, certain shit we shouldn't have went through. And even with my friends, sometimes we don't really see eye to eye because some of the things that we went through, I don't think is normal. they think, I don't want to say they think it's normal, but they don't see nothing wrong with it just because of how they view things. But
Right.
a lot of shit that we went through as kids is not normal. To your point, so even when you deal in relations, right? I remember being in Mitchell's and seeing certain niggas slap their girlfriends and shit like that. Like domestic violence is not something
domestic violence is definitely normalized.
Yeah, like it's normal. Like it's not really
in the minority
community.
They normalize it. Like it's normal, right? Which me and Darrell was just talking about this the other day. Like the term wife beater, it didn't come because it was like, oh, that's a great name. Let's name this T-shirt a wife beater. It came because niggas would come home from work and shit would go left. And now they like, let me take my work shirt off because I still need to go to work in the morning. I don't want to stain this shit. I ain't got laundry detergent and I'm going to beat my wife. It became a wife beater for a reason.
I ain't gonna lie. I don't know if that's true because I never did read it, but it's not funny, but it's funny.
It's
for niggas to say, for people, for niggas, I want to know who the first nigga to say, oh, that's a wife beater. He just beat his wife. I'm sorry, it's not funny. It's not funny, but I'm saying though, the fact that somebody said,
it's so crazy. It's not
funny. Ron had the tank top on when he smacked Felicia, and now that's a wife beater. It's crazy to me. But to your point, a lot of shit that we
normalize. You know what? And I really wish, right? I really wish that people who are from the hood and live in the hood, like people who make it up out the hood, they try to deem us as like, oh, you think you better than anybody. But like, I was living in the hood with my children and would come outside going to work. Like I worked in the #1 hospital in New York, and I'm going to work to go in the city. And when I'm going out my building, I see sheets over a dead body because on my block is like the hood. Like these low income apartments are great, but they put them when it's not in Manhattan. They don't do that shit in Manhattan. They do that shit in the Bronx and Queens and Brooklyn. They put them in the worst areas where it's like gang banging at its fullest.
But we drifting though. We drifting. Let's stay on the topic. The topic is relationships. The topic is women.
I can't help it. We talk about so much
stuff. We do. But we gotta start. What we gotta do is this is our first episode. This is our first little
I can't help it, guys.
Little
we talk about so much stuff.
I mean, we do talk about a lot, but we gotta stick to what we're talking about. So we talking about really just the mindset of the black man and the black woman.
Okay, sorry.
And not really understanding. Well, black men feeling like black women are a little extra. And black women also feeling like we as black men we cheat a lot and shit like that. So I say that to say, in order for us to really get on the same page, everybody has to take accountability. Accountability looks like, okay, boom. Do I know niggas that cheat?
You can.
Possibly.
But why are we?
But I also know niggas that's faithful. You know what I mean? And you can't knock somebody's experiences, right? If as a woman, you may have dealt with black men who cheated. But I know black men who don't cheat. And same thing for men. You may have dealt with black women that are extra and that are angry and that are, you know what I mean, aggressive. I have to say, you know, you have to be accountable, right? So there are women who are aggressive and things like that. But there's also, I know guys, black men who deal with black women that are extremely sweet. I know black men, you know, who don't cheat and who are faithful. You know what I'm saying? Just like I'm sure that you know black women who are the sweetest souls in the world and who are very loving and very caring to their man. So it's like, what we can't do is we can't knock people's experience. So if I'm somebody who's coming into a relationship and I've dealt with a bunch of black women who are aggressive and extra, don't tell me, oh, why you just hate, because that's what women like to do. Oh, you hate women.
So
he's a woman hater.
Can I give a little bit of history?
This is his
just based
experience.
So let me just tell you shit based off what I have researched. In case you guys don't know, and anybody who knows me personally knows that I have a really big love for African American studies. Like I'm an African American woman, but when you start reading shit about our history, it intrigues you, right? So I read and I mean, this is shit that's surface level, right? We know that women used to be in the fields. Women were in the fields. They were taking care of their children. They were picking cotton alongside the men, right? But women were also having to bear the white man's children, right? Depending on how lucky you are, right? But depending on how how close to the white race you looked, and depending on how well you kept yourself, right? Kept yourself up, right? In these terrible conditions, right? You were in the fields and you're picking cotton and you're doing all of this shit, right? On top of the indentured servants who were in the homes and they're bearing these other men's children and breastfeeding these like being ripped away from your own family, all of this shit, right? So that is already to me, right? And this is nothing that is written. This is something that I'm like piecing together. To me, you're already building this I don't need a man, I could do it by myself mentality, because he and I could be in a husband and wife and we're picking cotton together, but as soon as they rip me away to go be an indentured servant in the house and cook and clean and sleep with the master, he's still out there. He can't do nothing for me. So what does that mean? That means he's out in the field. He's still my husband, but I'm in the house having to hold my own. I'm having to hold my own and take care of myself. So we already are programmed to have these mentalities of like, I could do this shit on my own. I can hold my own, because truthfully, he's not even in a position to help me out, and it's not no fault of his. It's either he's gonna try to run in the house and help me, which is guarded, and they're gonna shoot his ass dead, or he's gonna continue to pick the cotton. He knows that his wife is in the house, and in his mind, it's like it's better my wife is in the house where she could sleep comfortably, but she's being raped at night and she's being taken advantage of. So we are programmed to have this mindset of like, well, fuck it, like I'll just like you build this this hardcore mentality because you have no choice, because somewhere subconsciously you want to fight to tell this master like, nah, I ain't sleeping with you, this ain't right. So you build up all this courage and you're angry to being taken advantage of, but it's already there. So now after you're being taken advantage of, you're angry. You ain't happy. You ain't skipped through the fucking cotton fields like, woohoo, he took advantage of me. So it's like, I feel like it's a mentality that from back in the day, we have adapted to. Never, not to mention, our parents are born in the 60s, right? Your mother's 66, my mother's 69. The 60s, the mothers, right?
Oh, you mean year?
Yeah, like the year. Like your mother is born in 1966, my mother's born in 1969. The 60s is a different era. Anybody who has parents that's born in the 60s, you're gonna agree that they different. The mothers are different. They just different. They mind is wired differently. So they have this mentality and this aura, and somewhere I don't know how the fuck this happened, but that lineage of mothers, they are just wired different. They all single mothers, 97% of them. I can tell you, I can name 10 of my friends. Damn, my light died too? What is going on? Everything is falling apart. Whatever, my light died. Fuck it. But we have mothers. I know about 10 of my friends who in the 60s, they were born, and by the 80s, they're single mothers. Like realistically, they were born in the 60s, and by the 80s, they're single mothers. That whoever was born in the 60s, I don't know what happened, but all that family dynamic shit, it was a crack epidemic.
Yeah, 80s
right?
is a crack epidemic in America.
Right.
So that played a part in, you know, people being torn from their families and family dynamic being a little different from some mothers not being available, fathers not being available, and mothers and fathers not being available. But you know, the reality of it is, like you say, as Black people, you know, that slavery did it impacts us. People don't think it does, but it really does impact us. You know,
that shit is almost like hereditary.
Yeah, it does impact us. Now in our time now, people don't really like to act like it does, but it really
because
does.
you gotta it's almost like the way people like have faith. If you don't see it, you can't believe it. You understand?
Yeah, but
you understand?
To your point, yeah. People, because we're not in that time. We're
Right.
far removed from that. So in a lot of people's mind, it's like that doesn't affect us. But like if you're looking at like how we treat each other, and like this was a plan. This is what they wanted. They didn't really want us to get along.
This wasn't.
You know what I mean? They didn't really want us
set
to
up
You know what I mean? It was
That
set
way.
up for us not to be families, for us to hate each other.
Broken homes.
You know what I mean? But I say that to say, like, you know, it's important for us to give each other grace, but also take accountability, right? Two things can be true at the same time. You can give your partner or the opposite sex grace, but also you can take accountability for what you know has gone on your side. Like, I know that there are gentlemen, there are men who don't take care of their kids. I know there's black men who really don't take care of their kids, but I also know there's black men who are in the house every day who do take care of their kids. I know that there are women who are aggressive. There are black women who are extremely aggressive. But I also know that there are black women who are not extremely aggressive. But I think that what happens is our experiences shape how we view the opposite sex, but it also shapes how we deal with the opposite sex.
You know what's funny, because right, like if we're just mentioning our parents, right? Me and Darrell, let's talk about our mothers, right? Since we're speaking on the topic of women. Darrell's mother and my mother are the same but different, if that makes sense. Like, Darrell's mother is very aggressive. My mother is not aggressive. My mother is not confrontational. Darrell's mother is. My mother will say 1 to 2 words and she's done. My mother does not like to argue. My mother is like, it's like fight or flight type of situation. My mother is fleeing. His mother is ready to fight. Like, they are the same, but they're in certain ways. You would have to know them. People who know them, y'all already know how they are. But like, my mother is more so like, she's a fleer. She's not gonna be aggressive. She's not, like, I've seen my mother and father literally have in my life 2 arguments in my life, and honestly, it wasn't even an argument. It was 3 to 4 words exchanged, and then it was like my mother's like, I'm not doing this, and my mother walks away. But that's because my mother is not confrontational at all, in no capacity. Like, even if me and my mother get into it, my mother will not argue with me. My mother will say maybe tops, if she's trying to show off, she'll say maybe 6 words, and then she's walking away. My mother does not want to. She'd be like, I gotta smoke a cigarette. This is too much. I need a shot or whatever. Like, my mother will walk away.
Yeah,
His mother, she coming with the kicking the door, waving the phone forward.
She aggressive. She's not really with the games.
But you know, I also think that it's a lot of like what people go through, right? Like, but which is weird because my mother's mother was married. Her and her father, my mother's parents were married. My mother's a military brat. My mother was born in Japan. She had 2 parents household until she didn't, right? And then when shit went left, my mother went to private school her whole life. Like, everything that is supposed to happen that you deem as like a great kid. Like, my mother went to private school. My mother had a 2-parent household. Yes, her parents divorced, but her mother was a nurse. Her mother had education. Like,
yeah, but that plays you saying that plays a part though. Your parents you living in a 2-parent household, and then a parent, and then they're divorcing, and then
it's
now
impactful.
You go from it's very impactful. Extremely impactful.
Yes,
you're going from having 2 parents in the house every day to literally one day your one parent is not there at all, no more, and there's arrangements have to be made for you to go with that,
and then there's resentment that's involved.
That's very impactful.
You're right.
You know, we can't ignore how impactful those changes are. Those changes are very impactful. But I just think that as human beings, as men and women, as black men and women, we just got to give each other grace. But we also have to understand that people's experiences shape who they are. Absolutely. They shape how you view. I may view black women as aggressive because the last 8 black women I dealt with were aggressive, right? You may view black men as they ain't shit because they don't do this and that, because the last 6 or 8 black men that you dealt with did that, right? Also, too, we have to start taking accountability. We talk about this all the time. Hold on. This is a good question. We talk about this all the time. Where are you going to find these men and women? Do we not talk about that all the time? That is something that we talk about all the time.
I used to tell my
you going to the club.
No. Absolutely. So let me
explain what?
To you. You want to find you a wholesome man, but then you going to fucking Sin City? Yeah, it ain't happening, right? Hold on. Don't do that, because you talking about the chicken wings.
No, what I'm saying, Sin City been closed for years.
Bro, I don't know anything. I don't know. I don't go anywhere. I'm home. I'm a SAMH.
I don't know what that is.
Stay at home mom.
You said SAMH. That's not stay at home mom. Let's get our letters together.
No,
right?
it is.
No.
It's stay
You said
at home mom.
You said
SAHM.
You said SAMH. That's what you said.
Okay, switch to my
You
last
said
two letters.
SAMH.
It's the Luna
She's
Azul.
drinking. It's SAHM.
Okay, I'm a like. So, am I really a stay-at-home mom though?
I mean, technically, you are. You work from home,
No,
but
ain't no
you
technically.
still.
I ain't no stay-at-home mom. I'm
No,
a
you are a
stay-at-home
stay-at-home mom.
work from home mom.
But you're still staying at home. You don't leave the house. What are you talking about?
Anyways, whatever. So women, I don't even know what spots are like lit in New York.
It don't even matter. You
I
go
don't
into
know.
these spots and trying to find a
You
good
go to the
man.
spots in the Bronx.
You're not. It don't matter where you. Like it doesn't matter where you. You're not gonna find
Now,
that.
excuse me, if you go to Throsneck in the Bronx where Trump has his golf course, maybe.
Nah, those is old married
Maybe.
niggas. Though you gonna be a side piece.
No, because they might be old and married, or they might be old and divorced. It's one of the two. It ain't gonna be both.
Okay, but then you gonna
Right?
be the sugar baby to an old nigga.
Yeah. Look at Anna Nicole Smith. It worked out great for her.
She did get the bag.
She was dealing with a nigga in a wheelchair.
All you hoes think about is the bag.
Wow.
Damn, bro, that shit is crazy.
You have to say this continues to show how we have to secure ourselves as black women.
Sad, bro.
As black women, we have to secure ourselves in case slavery pops back up. Trump is trying to put that in place. You about to be back picking cotton, honey.
That's weird, bro. That's weird.
I'm too good to be in the fields. I'm gonna be an indentured servant.
Oh, crazy, bro.
I just don't want no white man trying to touch me. That's it. But no, honestly, this was a great conversation. I just want to know. I'm gonna just leave y'all with a question though before we get out of here. We got a lot of drinking to do. What? Well, no, not what. Like, how do you guys feel about black women? Do you think black women are like aggressive and like over the top? I asked a question. I didn't ask for you
My
to
answer
answer.
is yeah. I know my friends' answers are yeah. They got girlfriends and baby mothers, and they're gonna say yeah. I'm gonna say yeah because I don't give a fuck. Ain't nobody gonna pick on me and make me not
Shut up.
Shut up. Stand in my square.
Look,
But
domestic violence.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Recorded.
And you know what? Some of these black women may say, "Oh, well, niggas ain't shit. Yeah, niggas ain't shit." That's cool.
What if one of your old pieces get on here and be like, "Yeah, because that nigga Darrell ain't shit." What if one of your old pieces get on here? What you gonna do?
That ain't got nothing to do with me.
What you gonna do? What if they get in the comments and be like, "Fuck out of here, Darrell ain't shit.
I probably
That
wasn't
nigga
shit.
ain't shit."
I wasn't shit.
Where they
That's
put the
your
clapping
fault.
hands. That nigga ain't shit.
That's your fault for dealing with me knowing I ain't shit. Fuck that got to do with me.
They wanted a piece of the pie. They
Ain't
thought
couldn't
you was
get
it.
nothing. I ain't got nothing to do with that.
They thought you was it. They thought you was it back in the day.
I will. They'll be all right.
Yo, this is Juice and Rel. Thank you for tuning in to us. We back like we never left. Y'all gonna see a lot more. We wanted to. Darrell was just he always running his mouth, so I just thought it was appropriate to record.
I want to say this though. It's not just gonna be related. Like I want to talk because I want to.
We gonna get to the nitty gritty, and we gonna have a lot of content. Like
speaking
us
of nitty gritty, I want to
trips,
get to the ditty
fashion.
gritty. I want to talk about the ditty gritty because it's a lot of shit.
Free Diddy.
I'm not gonna say free Diddy. You're gonna get blackballed and you're gonna get canceled before we even start. Before we even get a buzz, you're gonna get canceled. So I'm not gonna say free Diddy. What I'm gonna say is I want to talk about Diddy and talk about his case and talk about women and men and all of these things that
They don't want us to have a case.
that have input in this situation that's going on.
Let me ask y'all a second question that y'all got to come back to us with. Like, so y'all don't think that, you know what? Let me not even say it. I don't got time for that. My thumbs are gonna be going. I'm gonna be up late at night.
Yeah, let's just say that. Let's say that for the next joint. Let's say that for the next joint.
Yo.
But yo,